This video is part of the Stewawel news series, the 22 election Meet the Candidates, the goal of which is simply to introduce you to candidates to hear what they have to say. Anyone who is officially entered as a federal, state, county, or local candidate in one of the areas Stewawel News regularly covers is welcome to be part of this series and is encouraged to reach out by email for an interview opportunity. In this segment, you're hearing from Rene Nunez, a candidate for California Assembly District 33 who is running as a Republican. The newly redrawn district covers all of Kings County and parts of Tulare and Fresno counties. Please note the video and interview audio belong to Stewawel News and may not be used elsewhere without permission. Now on to the questions and answers.
Basically, the main reason I'm running is for what happened in the past 2 years with all the state mandates, that especially having 2 kids that go to school. It's been hard for them, for their education, and all the other new mandates that are coming out for our kids, or the parents should be the ones should be able to decide if they want to get the shot or not. As well as a small business owner, I believe that the state has not been able to support us in any way the past 2 years. It's only getting worse with higher taxes, higher mandates, higher regulations, and it's getting worse for everybody. With a third of the restaurants here in California closing down, and we have not seen anything from the state, especially from the water situation, from labor situation. We're losing employees. We don't have anybody else out there. We're trying to figure out how to survive our next day. How are we going to make our next meal? And with the minimum wage rising and the continued cost is going up, it's another reason why I decided to run as well, especially, and as a veteran, as a person that's been to the riots, has been to the fires, the state needs more help, and we need a voice out there in Sacramento to ensure that, and I will make sure I'll be that voice and fight for us. Again, as a small business owner, I've been really involved with the community. I sit on the Chamber of Commerce and as well as a variety of committees and organizations that people just talk and I listen. I like listening to people conversate just because I know and understand more of what they're going through. And apparently I'm not the only one that goes through that same stuff, and it's a variety of people. And I'm hearing the concerns, and I decided to run just because I see no point of the politicians that sit in Sacramento just living in their high castle, earning their wages, while as small businesses or people working, day-to-day people, are losing their income. So that's why I decided nobody else want to step up, and I decided to step up, and I'm going to continue to step up, and I'm going to continue to go forward and ensure that we actually do have a voice, from small business to our gun rights to our water to our labor to everybody, that we're out there making things happen. I'm more in touch with our community. As stated before, I'm really involved with our community. I love the community. I want to make a better community. I'm a small business owner that has to figure out how to pay people instead of deciding getting a paycheck. I have to ensure that our survivability is here and that we continue to grow and grow. I'm not the one sitting back and 9 to 5, call it a day, or receiving a paycheck. It's one of those things that many people don't understand, especially when all these other new laws, all these new mandates coming out, is the ability to move forward and try to make a plan out of thin air. Just the common sense of it all. I won't say I'm not a politician, because now I'm in the race, so technically I am a politician. But I want to say I think a little bit different from them. Like I stated earlier, they're sitting up there in Sacramento, and I feel they're unattached to us, to the people, to just the day-to-day individuals that have to live paycheck to paycheck to figure out how we're going to eat, and especially when groceries are going up. So it's one of those things I will make a voice, and I will make it be heard, and I will fight, and I will be fearless about it. And I understand a lot of people in Sacramento will not like the way when I come, and they're understanding like, hey, who is this guy that keeps going at us, and why can't we keep him quiet? And they're not going to keep me quiet. I'll be that voice. Hot topics is COVID, the mandates, labor, wages, how to survive the next day, how we're going to be able to eat the next day. Our businesses have been slowing down. Education is a big one, especially in this area. We have water. Without water, even my business or the business around this area in the Central Valley have no way of surviving, because we're all agriculture. We're bigger in agriculture. And so those are the hot topics that we have right now. The first thing is our education system, because those kids are the future. And as I said before, I have a 9-year-old daughter and a 12-year-old son that both go to school. And just seeing all this Common Core stuff, all the critical race theory that wants to come up, We had to find a way to ensure that our kids are educated on the basis from reading, writing, and arithmetic, to understanding that we still live in the United States and we have a proper education that they will grow. Because how could California, one of the richest and most profitable states in the country or in the world, is not being able to keep up with other states or other countries in our literature and our arithmetic and our reading? So we had to fight for that. Without our children and ensuring that we leave somebody to take care of this country when we're gone, it's a bad idea. We have to invest in them, as well as water, labor, small businesses, our labor workforce. Small businesses create 47% of the economy in California, and they feel like we're shutting them down. It's been hard. It's from everywhere here in town and other cities that I've talked to and other communities that I've seen and heard are struggling to find labor or closing down their businesses. It's one of those things that we have to fight back and ensure that the mandates, the taxes, they all make sense. It makes no sense when they keep trying to raise taxes instead of talking about, hey, how are we going to stop spending so much money and we could lower taxes and make it more affordable for California to live. And it also goes back to, as being a veteran as well, is fighting for our military, fighting for our law enforcement, ensuring that they have the resources and to empower them that we need to ensure that they're doing their job, and that the job that Sacramento is telling them to do, that they're able to do it. And to fight for everybody else that doesn't have a voice or too scared to speak up, and that's what I'll be here for. So my biggest goal is to motivate, to inspire, and empower other individuals to run for state office, as Republicans or conservatives that will fight to protect the Constitution, to fight to protect the hardworking individuals in this state, and that would actually make sense. It's going to be hard. I understand it's a challenge, but as a Marine, it's nothing but a big hill that I have to attack. And that's something that I'm willing. It's not going to be overnight. It might take 5 years. Hopefully it takes less. Hopefully we could change it in 2 years, and hopefully we could change it in 4 years. But I want to be able, at least to be able to ignite that spark to continue that fight. And while I'm there and working hard, I want to ensure that the Democrats know that we're not going to stay quiet no more. We're going to keep pushing forward. We're going to unite, and we need a leadership in our area, in our Republican Party, that will actually go out there and push and endorse candidates and ensure that we, as the Republicans, are going to be out there speaking the voice and giving that tough job to those Democrats and to governors. And that's my goal. I'm not going to be able to change it overnight, but I want to motivate, inspire, and empower those individuals to keep growing and keep pushing forward, from running as a candidate or being involved in the community, or from health, or from all the other aspects that we could think of. Yeah, so my family's been in the United States for the past 50 years. So we're originally from Guadalajara, Mexico. I'm 33 years old, the youngest of four boys. And I've been owning a small business for the past 7 years. I've been in the military for the past 15 years. I enlisted when I was 18 in the Marines Reserve, and the first month I was in my unit, we deployed to Iraq in 2008. From then on, I've done other jobs with them, other billets with them. I deployed to Africa in 2012 as well, and then joining the Guard in 2013, just because the high tempo that I was doing with the reserves, it was like if I was at full-time status with them. Going to the National Guard, going to Qatar, and then deploying to these natural disasters here in the state. And I'm still going hard 15 years, December 19th, since I touched on those yellow footprints. And I still continue to study. I'm not all the time there, but I do study political science. I study business and psychology. And I have 2 kids, and that's it. We have a Facebook, it's Nunez for Assembly, and we also have an Instagram that you could also follow that we're pretty active on. If you always want to email us, it's at info@nunezforassembly.com, or even look at our website at www.nunezforassembly.com. And we're working hard on it, and we're still trying to recruit people. We're still trying to get volunteers, and anybody that wants to reach out, and any comments, concerns, or questions that you may have, I'm more than happy to listen. And any location that you want me to go and speak, or even listen to what you guys are talking about, just invite me. I'll be glad to come there, and I'll be glad to listen. I'll be glad to talk and show you who I am. I'm more of a face-to-face person than on the phone person or email person. So